What if you could transform the choices you make and unlock your business potential? Every decision you make has the power to shift your path. You have the ability to make inspired choices that drive growth and sales. Get ready to tap into the innovative power within you. Now, here's your host of Inspired Choices for Business Growth, business optimization expert, Christine McIver.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is time to double down on you. Welcome, everyone. I am Christine McIver. I am the host of the Inspired Choices for Business Growth, a show that is all about inspiring you to choose for you, to show up for you so that you can grow your business and have pleasure at the same time. I am super thrilled. I have somebody on the show with me tonight. If you're not watching, you should be. But if you're just listening, I'm going to introduce this gentleman in just a moment. We're going to have way too much fun, so you definitely want to listen to the entire thing. And this gentleman is going to share a lot of very, very cool information. This gentleman's name is Anthony Russo. I met Anthony, I don't know, he feels like a brother from another mother. I met him about, 3 months ago, I think? Something?
About 3 months. Yeah, 3 to 4 months.
3 months ago, yeah. And so Anthony and I just, I don't know, if you've ever had one of those conversations and immediately you feel like, we've been connected before, this is how it's felt with Anthony. So tonight's show is all about doubling down on you. Anthony is going to share some of his amazing brilliance with us, guide us to really step up and be who we are meant to be with some very different philosophies, which I absolutely love about Anthony. So before we jump into the really exciting conversation, I'm going to share with you what this show is all about. I'm going to then read his bio because it's an important piece of the puzzle here tonight, and then we're going to dive right in. So, double down on you. What does it really mean to double down on you? In this episode, we are going to discuss with Anthony Russo, who is a speaker, coach, and creator of the Double Down movement, to explore how setbacks, risks, and even the parts of our story we once tried to hide can become the greatest fuel for our growth. We're going to dig into how you turn failure into fuel instead of fear, why your story is the most powerful tool you already have, and what happens when you stop being afraid of what got you here. And how can a risky gambling strategy actually teach us the best way to live? I absolutely love this. Now, Anthony is a professional MC, speaker, author, and coach. He's Texas-based, highly sought-after professional MC and the host of Fox's Big Noon Kickoff, so we've got a very important person in the house, people. You just pay attention, okay? Where his dynamic presence and engaging style captivate audiences nationwide. He's a celebrated keynote speaker, and he is known for delivering powerful messages that inspire individuals to transform setbacks into opportunities and realize that their voice is a superpower. He ignites people to double down on their personal and professional goals and maintain a strong sense of purpose in the face of challenges. Beyond the stage, he is a sought-after speaking coach, empowering aspiring speakers to refine their craft and amplify their impact. Whether he's working with aspiring speakers or a seasoned professional, he combines his expertise, innate intuition, and passion for helping others communicate with confidence and purpose. He's also the author of The Art of Doubling Down, where he provides actionable insights and strategies for overcoming adversity and achieving success. I mean, seriously, I'm very humbled by your presence with us tonight, Anthony. Seriously.
Well, I feel like we're out of time after that. So that was, I could have given you such I didn't know if that was the printer.
No.
I could have shortened it so much.
No, I love it because it really does give us a robust view of who you are. And I think it sets the stage for doubling down.
You could say that. I'm going to say that was a mouthful. You did a phenomenal job. Again, I'm still going to learn from my mistakes. That's part of doubling down, and say, next time I'm giving you a shorter, condensed version. If I can't figure it out, ChatGPT can figure it out, but I be like half that. But thank you for that. And the Fox Big Noon Kickoff starts this week. I'm pretty excited about it. I am the crowd host MC, so you won't per se see me on TV unless you are watching closely, and I'm the guy that looks like Sasquatch in the back, sometimes getting caught by the camera, but you'll see me running around like a hyena. That's what I do for Fox.
How long have you been doing that?
Fun fact, if you do have football fans in the audience, I've been doing it since 2018, which is the first. I'm the only person in all of the cast, crew, everything, camera people for Fox Big Noon Kickoff that has done every single one since its inception, including all the producers, all the everybody. There's about 150 people on the crew. I'm the only one that's done every single Fox Big Noon Kickoff.
So you are the expert that they all look to.
I am the bringer of fun. They literally they've coined the phrase for what I do. Like I hear on my headsets, because I have a headset on, I've got the microphone, I'm doing a lot at once. And when it's really time to get the crowd involved, so it looks like the biggest party in college football, I hear the words, Anthony, it's time to bring the whoop. So I'm the whoop bringer. That's to Rob Michalika, our producer. He's the one that he coined the whoop phrase.
I love it. This is really cool because somebody might look at or listen in and think, what the hell does this have to do with doubling down? What the hell does this have to do with being a speaker? Because this is where you and I have kind of connected. We connected in the Connected Leaders Academy, a business group that we've connected through. And you were really talking to me, and I had the opportunity to come and hang out with your team one night and learn from what you're doing. What the heck does this opportunity that you've cultivated, what the heck does that have to do with doubling down?
All right, let me try to break this down into 1 minute. So I've been an MC for about 20 years. I think part of being an MC that's different than a speaker is being incredibly observational about everything going on around you. So I automatically knew that I kind of had a gift of observation and taking things in. So fast forward to about 2019. So I started in about 2019, I started getting into day trading. And I was really enjoying it. I had just sold my first successful business, which was a marketing and staffing firm for promotional modeling, events, experiential. And I had moved on, and I'm like, what am I going to do to make money? And I started getting it. I love math. Totally weird. I love math. I got into options trading. I do not have an addictive personality. The doubling down comes from my father, I was raised by my mom, but my dad had multiple sclerosis and was also a compulsive gambler, and we were poor. Best of 78 bad worlds. So he gambled. When he gambled, because I grew up in Vegas, he would gamble with a style called negative progression, which means you double your bet every time you lose. Got my family into a lot of trouble. Gambled away the life savings a couple times. Just bad situation. So when it came to me looking at options, I would do good, I would do well, and then I would lose. And I was at one point gambling with $60,000+ off of my phone. I didn't have multiple computers set up. I had $60,000 out in options trading, which if anybody knows options, incredibly volatile. And I'm just playing around. I'm like, what am I doing? And the moment that it hit, that I decided to have that like Jerry Maguire manifesto moment where I typed out exactly what I'm going to be speaking about, was I was doing another gig where I worked for Nissan as a product specialist. I'm on my lunch break. I traded an option for a pot stock called Tilray. I had made like $2,000 the night before, and then in a matter of 10 minutes, it went what they call parabolic, and it went up to $299 and hit a sell point. And I was trying to just make another $1,000. I was being greedy. And every time that I had made mistakes in stocks, I had learn from my mistakes and not made the same mistake twice. So this was the pinnacle of mistakes, because I lost $7,300 in about 25 minutes, money that I didn't really have. Like I wasn't rolling deep. I just was, being relatively smart. At that point, I said, okay, I need to stop what I'm doing. I need to make a decision. Do I need to, as somebody that was a gifted MC, gifted speaker, I know I said 1 minute, definitely over it. Am I going to be Am I going to be somebody that gets into trading and has multiple computer sets up, be in a room by myself, make a decent amount of money, or am I going to be a speaker? And that's when I realized that my thought process was I've doubled down in life on everything based on learning from my father's failures, the way that he gambled. And that was going to be my strategy towards speaking. And that's how it started in 2019.
Wow, what a journey. Like that big lesson. And did you ever come like from all different directions? It's very, very cool.
Did it make sense?
Yeah, I followed
Okay.
it. I followed it. So that's all that matters really right now. So give us more of an insight into what doubling down really is. From a speaking, from a business perspective, what the hell is doubling down?
Yeah. So in my book, it's called The Art of Doubling Down. And it's the concept that in life, it's the old proverb, get knocked down 7 times, get up 8. And it's more than just that mentality of you get knocked down, you brush yourself off, and you get back up again. The art of doubling down, in fact, is when you get knocked down, when you make a mistake, it's inevitable. We're going to fail. The harder we try, the more we fail. That when you get back up, before you get back into the fight, before you get back into the next business deal, before you get back into the next whatever, you analyze what got you there. You do a post-mortem, essentially, which people think that could be painful to have to learn from the mistakes and be like, what did I do wrong? And a lot of motivational people are like, forget about the failure, just move on. I completely disagree with that. It shouldn't hurt you. It should fuel you not only with adrenaline, but fuel you with knowledge, new knowledge that you have. So the ability to actually double down means that you're taking the mistakes, you're having a willingness to get back up again, because in life, unlike the gambling table, you can keep reaching in your pocket for more as long as you still have breath in your lungs. So whatever you've got behind you, you use to move forward. That's doubling down.
I love that. I really love that. And I 100% agree with you that we need to do postmortems on our choices. And I think I want to take it to another level, not just on the choices that we quote unquote failed on. We need to be doing postmortems on the choices, the things that we've created in business that have been successful. We need to acknowledge what we're doing that's not working. We need to acknowledge what we're doing that is working. And then in that decide, what do I want to take from the failures? What do I want to take from the successes to take to that next level?
Absolutely.
And right? Because you know what? I think every choice, inspired choices, I think every choice is an opportunity. Yeah. And I really love the way you explain doubling down. I've never heard it explained like that. And I don't think enough people have enough confidence or knowledge on what to do to grow themselves in those moments of hell, right? Like, yeah. I was speaking to a colleague the other day, and I was saying every experience has brought us to where we are today. So you've shared one experience of gambling and how that has brought you to where you are today. How has the emceeing brought you to where you are today?
Interestingly enough, you could look at it in multiple different ways. One of which is it provides for me. Like that is, I am one of the most high profile non-celebrity MCs in the country. And I don't do a ton of corporate events, which I do like to do, but from the MC perspective, it's learning from what works and what doesn't work. And like I said in the beginning, I love the biggest gift that I have that I've accumulated over 20 years of MC work is observation. And when it comes to doubling down and overcoming failure, observation is key. So that's just it's a way of life as an MC. And it's like you're constantly keeping your head on a swivel. You know, when you say something wrong, like you're a live entertainer, you're constantly doing crowd work as an MC, and you could see people's reaction on their faces. You're maybe not listening to what they're saying, but you're listening to what they're saying in their face. And the ability to learn that technique is something that allows you to better communicate with any individual. So it allows you, and I use the word, I wrote an article on this a long time ago, and people are like, wait, what? Social manipulation. So it's not a negative, manipulation doesn't have to be a negative term. If you are doing it out of just goodness and communication and knowing what works to make people happy around you or to cause a reaction, that's simply what that social manipulation is. And I think that is something I truly learned from 20 years of emceeing and observing how people react to different jokes and self-deprecation and then making fun of other people. That's part of it.
Yeah, I love that. You're so friggin' skilled. And we're going to talk more about that after our break. And we're going to talk more about manipulation. We're going to talk about really being present while you're speaking and what you do that you're probably making notes about right now in what I'm saying. Because this is what this man does. All right, everybody, stick around. Not only do we have a lot more that Anthony's going to share with us, he has also got something incredible he's going to gift anyone that is listening right now or watching right now. You don't want to miss this opportunity, especially if you're in business, especially if you want to become a greater speaker. So you're listening to Inspired Choices for Business Growth. I'm your host, Christine McIver. We're on our home platform, Inspired Choices Network, and I'm here with the one and only Anthony Russo. We will be right back after this break. Don't go away.
What if every business decision you made was aligned with a clear vision for your future success? Imagine the impact on your growth and profitability. On Inspired Choices for Business Growth, business optimization expert Christine McIver challenges you to focus your decisions on the bigger picture, helping you align your actions with the future you want for your business and yourself. With her expert insights and no-holds-barred approach, Christine guides you to optimize your business strategies for sustained growth and success. Ready to make choices that drive your business forward? Tune in now to start shaping your future today.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is Inspired Choices for Business Growth with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at christinemciver.com. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. Yes, tonight we have the one, the only Anthony Russo with us, and we're talking all about doubling down on you. Anthony's here to teach us about why that's so important and what that can do for you and in your business, what it can do for you. So, Anthony, before we went to the break, you were talking about manipulation. I completely agree with you. I've never heard the term social manipulation. I have talked to people and talked to clients about, use manipulation. We use manipulation when we're driving a car. Canadian here, you're driving a car in the snow, you better know how to manipulate that vehicle so you don't hit the other one in front of you in the snow, right? Doctors manipulate babies out of humans' bodies. Like, manipulation actually contributes. And I love how you're talking about social manipulation when you're observing someone else and learning about what works for them and what doesn't work for them. I think that more people, if they use more observation and a little less speaking, they might have greater relationships as well. So
100%.
Right? So talk to me about what you do, especially in the doubling down course that you put people through. Tell me how that is a contribution, what you do with them from a business perspective, and how that can contribute to their businesses growing, even if they don't want to be a professional speaker, perhaps.
Yeah, 100%. I kind of want to. Can I take 30 seconds to finish up on social manipulation?
Yes, go.
So I thought about something that I have not used as a reference in a long time, and when it comes to social manipulation, this is a business-heavy piece of advice, and I used to talk about this. So there is a very thin line between the art of pickup. Like, I don't know if you remember those books, Neil Strauss, poorly written book, but very interesting. They did like the pickup artists, like how to pick up women or women how to pick up men, that whole philosophy.
Sorry, that was probably before my time.
Is it? So whatever. So no, it's a very interesting fine line. And I used to use it for my friends that were like, I don't know how to with girls. And I was like, it's about being confident. You're not manipulating them into doing something they don't want to do, but you're manipulating the attention on you in a good way. Wedding Crashers, the movie, was a really good study actually on how to get people to be attracted to you, not like physically, but just from an aura perspective. So from a business for a businessman, I used to suggest if there is somebody that you want to get to meet, you first off, you do the work to figure out where you can find a open room to meet them. That's a great investment to make. Say you want to work with XYZ business and you know their decision maker. You find a way to buy a ticket to that event that is not just the event, but the VIP room. That's if you have the funds to do that. And when you are there, you have to find a way to make it seem like you are the center of attention. So if you're in a group, if people are laughing around you and you're the one talking, boom, all of a sudden you are on that person's radar. So a simple trick that takes a little bit of practice and finesse, and then I will transition it to your question, because how can that help in a lot of different angles in terms of speaking, specifically on the art of doubling down. So I made the transition from just talking about mindset and overcoming failure to the art of communication as in relation to my own life, and the fact that I'm like, you know what I'm really good at is helping people become a better speaker. And from the speaking perspective and like what I do in my classes, at first I was like, I need speakers. I need to bring in speakers that want to get better and want to get gigs and want to get jobs. And I see all these ads online for things like, I'm not going to say the different brands, but they're like, all right, you come, you don't even have to be a good speaker and we'll get you paid $10,000 a speech. And it's like, it's a lot. Guys, just be authentic, be genuine, stop telling lies. You can make people a better speaker and you can give them tips on how to find speaking gigs. But at the end of the day, there's not a miracle pill for it. What I did learn about communication is what I did learn about speaking is it's not just about for the stage. It's also for the idea of being a better communicator. When you become a better communicator, and this is from trial and error from my own classes and seeing what people went through, and what I used to call a speaking class is now a transformational speaking class. Because when you can own your story and when you can own your voice, all of a sudden things in life start to unlock. It's much more transformational than I'm ready to speak on stage. It's more of I'm owning who I am because I'm willing to tell my story and I know how to tell it.
All right. So you said one word in there I want to pull on.
Let's go.
You said when you own your story. What's the difference between telling my story and owning my story?
It's a great question. So there's a difference between showing people your story and telling people your story. I always tell people to be a story shower instead of a teller, and that just means being descriptive. That means putting them in the moment with you. When you're saying to own your story, when you're asking, or when I said it, and what you're asking about is to realize that if you truly own your story by saying it with strength and confidence, that's what it is. That's the best way to say it. So when you are not only able to just tell people, but you are rooted in authenticity because you believe it, people can tell that, just like how dogs can sense fear. People can sense when you believe in the words that you are saying. And when you talk about maybe trauma, often there's scorch marks in stories. There's things that have changed our lives for the good, and a lot of time for the bad moments that created good in the end. And when you have started to recover and heal from those things, and you can share that with people, that means that you're owning it. If it is believable, there's still a lot of people, a lot of life coaches that are still going through their own stuff that they haven't fully healed from. And they're the ones that are struggling in business, not because they're not good at it. It's because they don't believe what's coming out of their mouth. So owning means you believe the words coming out of your mouth.
Yeah, I like that. I think it's also not avoiding parts of your story. Yeah. I always say that people can sense things whether they realize it or not. They may not be able to articulate, Christine's full of shit, but they could sense it, especially if we leave out chunks of our story, we leave out chunks of our experiences. You don't have to get into all the gory details, but when you really build that story and you show them the path to where you got to, they can sense the truth in that. And I love that. I love the way you explain that, owning your story. I'm sure that you've seen many people telling their story, and you can tell that they're nearly robotic in telling it. They're telling all the pieces, but they do not want to get intimate with it. And I think that's another piece. When you're really authentic and you're intimate with your experience, people can pick up on that, and that builds trust. And from a business owner perspective, you need to be able to articulate in order to build trust and build those customer relationships that eventually will pay the bottom line. It's so important. So I love that. What is it to have a voice that is your superpower?
So your voice and your story. So showing up with your voice can be our greatest superpower. And it kind of goes under the same line that we're just talking about owning your story. We are under this. We believe a lie about ourselves, and this is part of our self-limiting belief that our story doesn't matter. Our story isn't something special. Our story isn't shared by other people. It is. Like, we are going to resonate. There's going to be an audience to resonate with. We don't have to resonate with living in America, there's 330 million people, 200 million adults. In order for me to have impact and to be successful, I don't have to resonate with 200 million people. I need to resonate with 10,000, 5,000 even. I think I can resonate with more than that, but you just need to find that niche that is going to relate to your stories. And that's why I am passionate about teaching people to tell their stories, because when they can tell it, then it creates a ripple effect. There's certain people that I can tell their story, I can share it, and it's powerful. But if I can get them to share it, and they're willing to come out and say that their story matters, their story with depression, their story with divorce, their story with loss, then all of a sudden they have that power. And when I say the superpower, your story is your superpower, it's not just about speaking from a stage. Storytelling, owning your voice, showing up in strength. For me as a child, my parents didn't always get along well, and I remember that as a kid I was pretty precocious. I got in between my mom and my dad, and I stood in strength as a 4-year-old, and I said, "Dad, you're going to have to get through me to get to my mom." My dad, although handicapped, he was 6'1", 170 pounds. So, and it totally quelled the situation. So if you're showing up with a strong voice and being confident can stop a bully, why can't it also change your life? So the last thing with it is storytelling, also from a brand perspective, is something that allows you to be it's a superpower in order to create viral marketing, to create to create an impact in your brand. So the whole idea is you have to be a storyteller. You have to have a strong voice. And when you do, you'll realize that is truly a brand, an individual, a relationship's biggest superpower.
That's fabulous. So, one of the things that I've noticed is there are a lot of people that say, yeah, lots of people are telling that story. Other people have told that story. Yeah, I'm not any different than anybody else. And a lot of people don't put value in their own story because they think that it's already been done. Mm-hmm. What would you say to them?
I'll use the marketing reference that sometimes I think the current, based on our lack of attention span, it's 39 hits, 39 times before people decide to make a purchase or for something to sell. Same type thing goes for your story. It's timing based. You don't know when you're going to hit the person at the right time. Like we soften depending on the time of the day, depending on what we went through yesterday. I saw your Facebook message or your Facebook status. You had a bad day yesterday. Today you might be having a better day, Christine. So it's like it's all timing. So if you continue to tell your story, you could be at the right place at the right time to make impact on somebody. Tony Robbins can say the most amazing thing, and if somebody's not in the right mindset to hear it in that time, and I come along 4 days later and I say something incredibly similar, they're like, oh, it's a timing thing. You just have to keep giving people information and sharing your story until it hits people at the right time. And you have to, I'm a believer, you have to have faith.
You do. And I think that, another thing that I feel is very, very important is it's an energy match. Anthony Robbins may tell the story, but his energy doesn't match the person that's looking
Right.
for that information, and your energy may match that person.
Right.
And the more that we are telling our story and we're being authentic and we're showing up vulnerable as well with our story, we are going to bring the people to us that are looking for us. And, it's such an important piece. I thought I told my story plenty of times, having done this show now for, 15 years? No, I'm more than that. I think I've been doing it for 17 years. I don't know how many years I've been doing my own show.
Years.
It's so many years. And after having joined you and you going through and you having me tell my story, and your feedback blew me away. It blew me away. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to go study this stuff now. Your insight was very eye-opening, and it was very, very cool. And I loved it because it showed me more of me and how I can really lean into more of me when I'm showing up, whether it's a one-on-one conversation or whether it's on a stage and anywhere across there. So I want to talk more about what you do and how you do it, and about the offer that you've got for all of our listeners tonight after our break. So we are up to our next break of the show, everyone. If you are enjoying this show, please go over to iTunes, give us a 5-star review so people that are looking for this information can find it. I'll be super grateful. Anthony will also be super grateful to get his voice out there even more. And you will help us to be showing up in the world in a way that is making a difference. And we really do appreciate that a lot. So stick around, everyone. We will be right back after this commercial break.
What if every business decision you made was aligned with a clear vision for your future success? Imagine the impact on your growth and profitability. On Inspired Choices for Business Growth, business optimization expert Christine McIver challenges you to focus your decisions on the bigger picture, helping you align your actions with the future you want for your business and yourself. With her expert insights and no-holds-barred approach, Christine guides you to optimize your business strategies for sustained growth and success. Ready to make choices that drive your business forward? Tune in now to start shaping your future today.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is Inspired Choices for Business Growth with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@ChristineMcIver.com. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. Yes, I am your host, Christine McIver. I am here with my special guest, Anthony Russo. We're talking about doubling down on you. We've been having a very lively conversation going in lots of different directions, which I absolutely love. And if you're enjoying this show and you'd like to connect with Anthony, you can go over to his website, doubledownstrategy.com or #BeTheChange.com. No? Is that wrong?
No, don't worry about that one.
No,
okay.
Okay.
Just go to my Instagram. Just make it easy. Go to my Instagram. Hit me up there. That's the easiest place.
Anthony Michael Russo.
There you go.
All right.
Instagram.
Awesome,
perfect.
awesome. Okay. So, what are we talking about? I'm looking at the chat
You said
room.
we can go in any direction. So I said there's multiple places, and I love that Danelle picked up what I was putting down with moon landing. I said moon landing, Helen Keller. There's a lot of different directions. We could
You
maybe
need to
end on
be
a
in our
spicy.
chat room to understand this crazy that's going on. Our producer Danielle is in there dancing with Anthony. I was looking at something else and totally missed that. Okay, let's talk about the fake moon landing. No, it's somewhere else.
What moon landing? Yeah. Well, I mean, we haven't been back. Let's. I mean, because we apparently don't have the technology. Whatever. I'm not going to get into it. I'm much more. If you want what I'm passionate about, it's Helen Keller. We can end the show on a Helen Keller chat if you really want. After this part, well, let's make that because I feel like once I get into that, I might lose some of the people in the audience. So let's.
Okay, so you tell us what you do, and that'll lead us into the offer that you're extending for everybody, a free offer that you damn well should be taking. If you're in business, you need to take advantage of this free offer, period.
Yeah.
So tell us what you do.
Yeah. I mean, speaking is the nectar of life. So the quick transition that I made between just being a mindset speaker, keynote, double down, all that stuff is I made the a finals of a speaking competition with Pete Vargas. It was a golden ticket winner, all that stuff. And I met a bunch of people there that were also really good speakers. And I'd helped teaching. I taught it a couple of years ago. I taught a speaking class, and I've took some of that into what I was going to be doing after. So when I was in this group, this mastermind, that after the 140 people that went through, there's about 20 of us that got into a mastermind. And it turns out all these really good speakers, after we're doing our weekly classes, which very similar to what you went to, that's what that was formulated from, was that Wednesday night workshop. So I realized that if I could help really good speakers they wanted to learn from me, I'm like, maybe there's something here. I've always been good at critiquing speaking and observing what will help people become a better speaker. Fast forward to what I do now. It's been fleshed out for 18, 19 months now as I've built this, is I have a free webinar, and this is what I would encourage people to go to. I don't know how I was blessed, but I got the domain name getbetteratspeaking.com. So you go there, and I don't know how that was available. You go there, and so is Speaking Bootcamp, funny enough. But anyways, go to getbetteratspeaking.com and join me for a free webinar. And with that, there's some goodies. There's some free stuff that goes along with it. I also forgot to tell you this, Christine. We've worked on I think you and I had a full call, and I kind of broke down how I would introduce you if I were you. We're working on an AI bot based on all the way that I have a conversation with people, and then give them a paragraph on how I would introduce myself if I were them. So we're working on that bot. It's almost ready, and it'll be one of those ones you'll answer about, I think, 13 questions based on questions I would typically ask and formulate it, and then it'll put it all together, and then you'll get that as well. So that'll be part of it. That'll probably be a send afterwards, but there's a few freebies, how to create a story. But ultimately, if you join me, it's a free webinar on Monday nights, and I would love your audience to take me up on that offer.
Well, I'll be there. So if you're listening and on any platform, just go to the notes. You're going to see getbetterspeaking.com. The link is there, and just click on it, and you can register and join Anthony and really learn from him on a very, very different level. I've been around in this business. I've heard lots of people talk about speaking. I've heard lots of people, go on and on and on about you should do this, you should do that. Anthony does it different, and Anthony does it in a way that grows you, and he's going to challenge you. But he's the nicest guy when he does it too, which is lovely for the ego. The ego doesn't get super bruised when you do it. So that is absolutely fantastic. Anthony, what do you expect that what's the biggest areas that people need support in their speaking and showing up in their businesses? What do you think they need the biggest support in?
Funny enough, you said it. It's showing up. Like people are deathly afraid of showing up to speak, whether it's in a small group or whether it's online on social media. Like, actually show up, start to create content. People get either too nervous because they don't like the way it looks, they're a perfectionist, or they get deep into the weeds of, there's 28 people that saw that. Why would I create it? Just create it. You don't know who's going to be your next client or your next customer. So showing up is big. We've also been taught a huge lie that filler words are this. If you're an or kind of person, this might fall under the category of I teach things differently. Saying it on occasion is not the end of the world. Like a lot of Toastmasters, and if you can't hear, I say like a lot. It's one of my crutch words. It comes out like once in a while. And you just let it go and just keep talking. And it's kind of like swear words. Swear words are one of those ones that some people can say them, some people can't. If you're very obvious when you say things like yeah, maybe not for you, but if you're just somebody that's thinking and you go, it's okay. So those are some of the big things that people need to get over in their just basic speaking. And people even notice that when they're in one-on-one conversations, just chill out, just talk, have a good time, be conversational. I give the tip whether you're on a stage in front of 5 people, in front of 30 people, or in one-on-one with somebody. Well, the one-on-one is what I reference. Most people are better at one-on-one than they are on a stage. Pretend like somebody is asking you a question when the lights and the microphone are in front of you and you're having a conversation with one person. And it just helps. You can't excel in business without knowing that at one point or another, you're going to be on a digital stage or in front of a room, an actual real stage.
Yes. And if you can master the one-on-one and be present, you can work into being on stage and speaking. And, the very first time, I think I told you this, Anthony, when you were drilling me. No, you weren't drilling me.
I wasn't drilling you. You're a really good natural speaker.
I'm just teasing. But the very first show that I ever did, it was a radio show. It was a live radio show. The very first show I ever did, I cried for the first 15 minutes of the show. Like, I was overwhelmed. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was as nervous as can be, and I was in massive gratitude. I really felt like I had arrived, and there was so many emotions going through me, and it's the truth of who I am. That's what was created in my first show, and here I am. That was 2011. So what was that, 14 years ago? I'm in my 15th year of having my own show. 15 years later, look at all the things that I've created because I doubled down. I didn't let it stop me. I learned from it, and I really challenged myself to lean in even more. And I think that that's the message that you give is such a gift in the world. And the way that you support people to learn about their story and how to speak and the little nuances that you pick up on. Like, how many notes have you already made just during us having this conversation tonight?
I only made like 2 I made 3. But the one that I really made earlier is because we were talking, I think it was you and I when we were on our call, because I did something where I was looking over. I think I was commenting how observant you were, because I looked over during our Zoom call and I looked at the time, and you knew that I looked at the time. That was our call, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. And very few people pick up on those nuances of, like, it's a social nuance that it's incredibly important in individual communication. I was just looking at the time, but there's times that there's probably a reason behind it. And you were like, do you got to go? And I was like, that is the biggest compliment, respect, to be able to pick up on something like that. Like, I pick up on things that are behind people all the time. So observation is so key. That was one of the notes that I took. That was one that I wanted to make sure I talked about, because you are incredibly observational and very talented at that.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. I'll take all the accolades. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's such an important piece, I think, that we miss. We're trying so hard to get this thing called business right. We're trying so hard not to look like idiots. We're trying so hard for people to say yes to us so we can make the money, so we can, pay the rent, so we can, feed our family, so we can go on vacation, so we can finally say I'm a success. We're trying so damn hard. We're missing having fun while we're doing it. And to me, when I'm working in my business and I'm having fun, I'm much more present with someone, and I connect with someone on a different level, and I create that one-on-one relationship where I increase the probability that somebody's going to trust me. And so being in business, if I am going to, offer you to work with me on some level, when I'm having fun and I'm having pleasure, you're going to consider it at the very least, unless you can't stand me, and then why are we on a call? But pardon me, I think it's such a big piece that people miss. We don't have to try so hard. We don't have to get it right. You're never going to get it right. You know, if you've got a criticizing mind, you're going to find something to criticize yourself about. If you are willing to show up and really have fun and be present with whatever you're doing, but especially in business, you're going to increase the probability of success.
The harder you try, the worse it is. And that's not just in business. Like, you have to work hard. Working hard is not the same as trying. Like, trying is a weird word. And I know we're just coming up on break, but when you try too hard in one-on-one communication, it's even worse. Like, that's where it's like, okay, this person's trying too hard. That phrase is a real thing. When you're trying too hard in business, in friendships, in relationships, in social settings, it's a problem. That's what gets you into trouble. Having fun is when you become magnetic.
Right. Exactly. It's such an important piece. I know you can just feel the ick on you when somebody's trying too hard, right? It's like, okay, time to go. Look what time it is. I gotta go. Right? Oh my gosh, this is so good. Okay, we are up to our final break of the show. Do not go away. We still have more. I know Anthony could talk to us for days. We still have lots more to talk about. If you have any questions you would like to send to us, you can certainly send a question to me, Christine, at ChristineMcIver.com. I'd be happy to answer your questions. I'd be happy to pass that on to Anthony. Or you can post your questions wherever you are finding this podcast. All right, my friends, you're listening to Inspired Choices for Business Growth. I'm your host, Christine McIver. We're here with Anthony Russo, and we are on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
What if every business decision you made was aligned with a clear vision for your future success? Imagine the impact on your growth and profitability. On Inspired Choices for Business Growth, business optimization expert Christine McIver challenges you to focus your decisions on the bigger picture, helping you align your actions with the future you want for your business and yourself. With her expert insights and no-holds-barred approach, Christine guides you to optimize your business strategies for sustained growth and success. Ready to make choices that drive your business forward? Tune in now to start shaping your future today.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is Inspired Choices for Business Growth with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at ChristineMcIver.com. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight with me, Anthony Russo. We're talking all about doubling down, and we're talking about speaking. Anthony, something that you said about people are deathly afraid of speaking. So you've got somebody that comes to you, they're afraid of speaking, they want to speak, they want to get their voice out there, but they're deathly afraid. How would you guide them through that fear, that deep fear?
So I do a Wednesday night workshop. It was free for a long time, but I'm going to give an example of one of my students that has ended up taking my full 8-week class. And she is somebody that was incredibly shy, was somebody that was deathly afraid of being in front of a room, and she'll speak to it. She's probably my greatest testimonial. And I'll give her a shout, Rattles. And we call her Rattles because she saves rattlesnakes. Anyways, she is somebody that she's awesome. Somebody in the very beginning that her sister was like, just go. It's a welcoming environment. She was terrified. After the first class, that she came to a first workshop, her sister reached out, and this is the one I call Toastmasters on steroids by somebody that actually knows what they're doing. She gets there, and it was because it was such a warm environment. She learned, and not just by doing it herself, by watching the other people, that I give them a quote. You were in the class, you were in the workshop. You get a quote, and what you can do in 30 to 45 seconds, you realize your brain can actually work pretty quick when you get out of your head. And once you stop being afraid, and I think you can't just throw somebody out on a stage in front of 300 people and be like, hey, give it a shot. But starting out small and then practicing. I mean, by practicing, it's just repetition. I don't mean like you'd have to sit in front of a mirror and practice. I mean, come to things. If you don't want to come to my class, go to a Toastmasters. Go to something that allows you to open up, because it's not about speaking. It's about being able to live your life and enjoy your life. And if you can't get the words out of your mouth with joy, a little bit of joy behind it, like you can be nervous, but with a little bit of joy of knowing what you're doing, then it makes life so much more difficult without that skill.
It's so true. I think I might have told you this. I was interviewed in a car once. It was really fun. And something that jumped out of my mouth was, until your voice is added to the conversation does not truly begin. I believe deep in my heart, which has had me do what I do now with having hosts on the network, is that each person genuinely brings something to the table that another person will never have. And I think the way that you deliver it, the energy that you are, and your message will resonate in such a different way. And even doing it through the fear, even doing it through the nervousness, we speak to others through even being afraid, right? That can actually draw people in. Somebody that's too polished can actually turn off people. But people that make mistakes, people that, show up and don't look great, or they fumble and whatever, somebody will look at them and go, oh my God, if she can do it, then I can definitely do it, right? And I think that we miss out on the opportunity to contribute to our own lives and to contribute to others when we're so afraid of taking a shot. And the piece that I love about you, Anthony, is the warm environment. I mean, I'm 100% with Rattles. It's such a warm environment. You are so loving and giving and generous, and you give feedback. Like, you don't blow smoke. You genuinely give feedback. And if you're looking for an environment that, I mean, you are hands-on, like you're in there and you're touching everything and you're doing everything with everyone. It's not just cookie cutter conversations. You really are in there individually with everyone. I had no idea what to expect, and I was so pleased. It was such a wonderful experience. And what you're doing in the world, Anthony, along with your emceeing and your being on Fox and doing all these things, this is such a gift. This is such a gift that you're bringing to the world. So I'm glad you kept doubling down. I'm glad that you chose to show up in the world. And I'm really super, super grateful that we connected. I mean, I don't know. Those stars aligned that day, whatever that was. It's just perfect.
We talked for like 2 hours. I believe we had a long call. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, I know. So, Anthony, we're closing out the show in just a couple of minutes. What's the last thing that you want to leave with the listeners?
The last thing I want to leave, and it's not going to be Helen Keller, but the last thing I want to leave is you have such an ability to change your life on a lot of different levels when you start to harness your voice. I have seen some of the most fulfilling things. I'm living more in my purpose than I ever had before. And I think the biggest reason of that is because God, I believe, gave me a gift. And it's not just a gift to speak, it's a gift to make people better at speaking. Storytelling is as old as the Bible, before then even. And what brings people together, what ties people together, which you can look at that from a communication, relationship, all the different areas. What ties us together is stories. And when you can tell your story, all of a sudden it could bring people into your business, into your life, into your love, all of the things above. And last thing, there is no way that Helen Keller was both deaf and blind completely. Period. That's it. We brought it up earlier. I had to finish with it. Somebody explain to me the logic behind it, and maybe I'll believe you, but I don't believe it.
Okay.
I said this beautiful thing, and then
Mr. Controversy. Mr. Controversy.
just had to end it with that. We brought it up earlier. I felt like I was missing something without.
You were going to leave everybody hanging.
I didn't want to leave everybody hanging.
No,
If you
no.
hit me up with a message on Instagram if you want to discuss it. That's the teaser at Anthony Michael Russo. Let's discuss Helen Keller. Okay, I'm ready. I'm out.
Oh my God. We have 30 seconds left,
Sorry.
my friend. No problem. Please go over to getbetteratspeaking.com. You will not be disappointed. Share it with all of your colleagues. Have them show up. You will be glad that you did. Anthony, thank you so much for being here. This was way too fast. This went way too fast. And I will have that conversation with you. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. Thank you for being here. Join us next week. And until then, remember, you can always make another choice. Take good care.
Thank you for tuning in to Inspired Choices for Business Growth. Christine McIver will be back next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Be sure to join us again for you and your business. Until then, remember to make the choices that align with your true desires. This is your business, and it's time to create the future you truly want.